And so it was. We are live again. So we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. We're going to see what's going on. It's been a few days of lackluster volatility. Maybe there's something in the charts here that's going to give us an edge on this market. We'll find out. Let's get into the charts. Let's zoom it on out, guys. It's been a bit. It's been a bit, but we got to keep doing it. It's redundant, I know. Quarterly targets. Nothing has changed here. A 58.8 still my target. 13 days left, so we are running out of time. That's still plenty of time to run. I have very high hopes for Q4. I'm still expecting a six-figure Bitcoin. I haven't seen any levels of invalidation. I'm honestly a little confused by the bearish sentiment. It really seems that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months of kind of range-bound trading has flattened out hype in the market. It's excellent. If you're a new investor, a new trader, this might not make sense to you. You think, oh, supply and demand, when people are FOMOing, that should push the price up. Well, think of it this way. Back here in September of 2020, do you think that there was FOMO? Do you think people were itching to get in? It's easy to say that now at 47. Oh, yeah, I would have been. But no, you weren't. FOMO comes after. FOMO came around here in January. This is where we saw serious FOMO, serious new viewers coming onto YouTube looking for Bitcoin and crypto content, and it fizzled out. So what I am suggesting is we're likely seeing a similar event to that September time. Energy interest at lows. That precurses a rally. On the monthly, we did briefly trade as a red candle today. You can see this is basically just a sliver here, this candle. 47.1. We zoom into the weekly. We're going to have a little more reasoning. If we look at the Ichimoku Cloud Indicator, here is what we're looking for. Just below the monthly open. 46.9, I believe. We have the weekly Kaijun. Last week we did sell below and close below the Kaijun. This is a critical point for Bitcoin. We are above the cloud on the weekly. Ichi is suggesting the trend is still up despite 5 months of boring. But if we close above this Kaijun at 46.9 and we can break past our high. So on the weekly, we're going to have resistance at our weekly close up here at 51.7 and local support down here at 46. If we can break our high, close this weekly, break our high, we're going to get a signal that comes seemingly once in a lifetime. Last time Ichimoku Cloud gave us the signal would be back in October 2016. That's right. 5 years, virtually 5 years ago, 4 years, 11 months ago, we got this signal. We entered a parabolic rally on Bitcoin in the crypto market. Let me get rid of that line. Right back here. And everybody knows what happened after that. Blow off top, blah, blah, blah. Price from where the cross occurred. 3,000%. That would put Bitcoin at 1.5 million. You guys might have seen that clickbait thumbnail I put out a while ago. No, I don't think Bitcoin's going to 1.5 million here in the next year. Sorry. I'm a perma bull, but that doesn't really jive. It's possible. My expectations are lower. Starting, as I said, at six-figure range. 100,000 range. I'm still expecting the same thing I was. If I copy the last cycle, I've been looking at these same prices for 3 years now. If we copy the last cycle, we would be looking at about a 360K Bitcoin. That's a number that a little bit ago is being thrown around a lot by people, and now we're not hearing it as much, and that's actually building confidence for me. I don't like it when all these other people are kind of parroting or coming up with the same values we are. I believe that it makes them less likely to occur. So the battle on this weekly here with 2 days to go, 5 hours, we're going to see CME close. It's Friday, isn't it? Happy Friday, by the way. We're going to see CME close here today. We're going to have our volatile weekend trading, and then we're going to open up again on Monday for what will be, the second to last week here in Q3. Big deal. Big deal going on. Weekly is not looking strong, and I think what we're looking for is that close, honestly. This is going to be a really big indicator of what is to come. If we're just looking at Ichi and not our supports or resistances, we can see this TK, this green line below us. This is a faster moving line. It is looking at a shorter amount of candles, and thus it responds faster, suggesting though that support below us right around the 41.1 range. And the issue about that value is below it is this cloud. This cloud is not a very strong cloud despite it being thick. It's kind of disheveled. It's a disheveled cloud. I believe if we close below that 41.1, that we're probably looking to test the bottom of this cloud, if not drop out of it. And if we look back to 2018, losing the weekly cloud is really, in hindsight, was a great indicator of a bear market. Rejecting from our TK, we got this cross down, which we've already had right here back in June. And now we're looking for a cross back up to mirror that October 2015 signal. Our indicators don't look great. This is what I wish I had something else to say about. Our indicators don't look great. We came off of bullish divergence, yes, but RSI is really not blasting off in the way we would like. That can suggest two things. One, we are looking for more downside, which I don't believe is the probable move. Or two, that we are going to look to close this quarterly strong. We're looking to have a strong fourth quarter, and maybe we get something like this. Move back up, test these RSI highs, and really blast price off parabolically. We could see that the last time we were oversold on the weekly was the December 2018, bottom of the bear market. Our lows have been coming up, and our highs have been coming up, and that's an uptrend. For all intents and purposes, that's an uptrend. We really just don't want to see this fall back down. July 21st low, you'd have to get a wicked bullish divergence off that low to have any kind of hope there. I don't think that's the probable move. Our money flow also looks like crap. We can see in this weekly, our money flow is starting to siphon off here. However, with a close above that Kaijun, and preferably closer to the local weekly resistance here at 51.7, hopefully we can undo this bending or waning of money flow, and we can see that resume its trend back up, because at this point, this is looking a little rollover-ish. You don't want the weekly to roll over. Last time that happened was the bear market. You can see this is not really the same as what we're seeing now. This is definitely a different pattern. But I'm going to need to see that weekly pick up the slack here. MACD showing us potentially 2 weeks of waning momentum. I am expecting volatile weekend, honestly. To close 2 weeks of waning momentum would not be the end of the world, but I would feel much more comfortable to see that picked back up. I want to see some resilience in this market. And if we do get a not strong close this weekend, we really got to put on the gas next week. We need to see that momentum blasting back up sooner rather than later. Some stuff we looked at in videos prior, we can relook, and man, they're spooky. They're spooky. We have hypothesized about this 4-day cloud weakness, and we said if we are going to see lower lows, if our rally is actually going to get faded, which I don't believe it will, we would look here on the 4-day, and that is the end of September. That's the start of Q4. We see this weakness in the cloud on the 4-day. That is the same weakness we saw on the 3-day that we hypothesized correctly, that if price was looking to move to the upside, that it would look to break through that weakness. So 3-day did work, 4 days down here, and so that is a threat. That is a threat, especially here under the TK now. Back at the cloud support, you really don't want to hang out there too long. You want to be bouncing off the clouds. Price wants to be airy in Ichi. Metaphors everywhere in this. It wants to be airy. It wants to be lightly touching either the cloud or the TK, and it wants to be bouncing higher and higher. Obviously, the same is true in a bear market, except instead of bouncing, rejecting, whatever. But there it is. Eyes are on here. We're going to want to see price action to the upside in the next 16 days, so into the close of this month. Everything is starting to line up here. This is exciting to me and probably a source of some stress for others. It's exciting to me because we're seeing all these pieces line up, fall into place, and we have this huge potential on the weekly to retake our bullish KJ line and get a bullish cross above the clouds. Last time that happened, 3,000%. It's all lined up. Things are still looking a little weak here. RSI on the 4-day is actually in better condition than the weekly. We do see a higher low and higher high locally here. We don't really have bearish divergence, which is great. We're probably going to have bullish divergence, but our momentum is similar. Still waning off, just like the weekly. Don't want to see this roll over either. That we do not. Money flow is hanging on for dear life here on the 4-day. Very much looking to roll over. That is not great. We can see these periods of red or negative money flow really reminiscent of a bear market. You can see the entire time, 2015 till the end of 2017, the whole cycle. Money flow was positive on the 4-day. Here we are, flirting with potentially negative money flow on the 4-day. If that were to play out, we would probably be exactly as predicted right here. Probably see it fall through the cloud right there. But I'm still not of the opinion that that is what's going to happen. So when we zoom it down to the 3-day, this is where it gets a little nicer. Yes, we're under the TK. That's not great. But as we predicted, this flat, fat cloud was tested. 46.8. We can see it is somewhat holding here. So the close, and what is this? A day in 5 hours. We do want to see it close above the top of this cloud, above 46.9. If you remember from earlier, that's also exactly, what was that? 46.9 was also the Kaijun for the weekly. So these time frames are really pointing to two values. Those two values are 46.9 and I believe it's 47.9. Is that right? Yeah, 47.9. Let's leave it with that. They're pointing there as if we can retake these levels into this monthly close, all of these time frames are going to all of a sudden shift from looking really bad to really good. We can see the 3-day cloud even looking to twist here again, showing us a potential change early. Ba-ding. What's up, Commander Bud? Thanks for following me. Good to have you. He's the commander of Bud. 3-day already in negative money flow. Not great. Not a great sign for the 4-day that we're looking not to roll over. Not a great sign, but this is not quite as cut and dry as the 4-day. The 4-day really was when money flow is positive, we were in a bull run. When it was negative, we were in a bear market. Here in the 3-day, we see money flow actually rolls over somewhat commonly. It happened in October 2019, November 2019. It happened earlier in July, in August, and now again in September. This is very much undecided. Very much undecided, and I think it's going to come down to that 46.9 area. We have negative or selling momentum on the 3-day. Not the prettiest, but you can see it's really tight. This is a really, really tight chart. 47.9, there it is, 47.850. That's it. If we can close the monthly above here, things look spicy. Things look very spicy. If we close below there, we're going to have more struggling, more pain on the way. I kind of forgot about this as well. That 47.1, the monthly open, also our TK for the monthly. So the monthly can suggest anything above. What is this? Like 46, just 46.3. Again, in that range of 46, 47. Anything above is still in trend. For 2 months, June and July, we were below the TK in the monthly. That was very, very bearish. And we've retaken it, very bullish. Our Kaijun, the same thing we're looking to retake on the weekly, sitting at 34.4 for the monthly. That is our last line of support here. If I'm totally wrong and everything goes the other way, we see all these levels break. We really are going to look for 34.4. That's not what I'm saying I think is going to happen, but this is the outline. We have invalidation points along the way. If they are broken, most importantly being 42.2, we may look all the way down here for a bounce. That would be really ugly. This would be very, very ugly. I don't expect this to happen. I definitely would put the probability on 58.8 testing before 34.4, if we ever do even test it. Honestly, I don't really think we will. So let's zoom it in still. I know I wasn't going to take as long. On the 2-day, we see that 4-day weakness overlapping with the 2-day weakness. Same time frame, start of October. 2-day battling the TK. Today's just an Ichi kind of day. But unlike its brothers or sisters, the 3 and 4-day, we have a little better chart here. RSI may have bounced from 50. This is still not ideal, but it bounced from 50. That could be definitely viewed as positive. Money flow is positive. and trending up. So it's rolled over on the 2-day. What we're seeing is the 2-day and the 4-day really battling this out, and you will find this happens a lot in TA. When you have, say, a daily time frame and a 12-hour, when like a half-sized time frame, you'll see them battling it out. And that's really what I'm seeing here. I'm very happy to see that the 2 days money flow is trending up. VWAP is positive. Momentum is even looking possibly for a reversal back to the upside. And MACD showing us waning momentum on the sell side. Every other time frame we looked at so far, waning buying momentum. 2-hour is going, or 2-day is going against that. We want to see that trend continue here. And we close this candle today. So man, what would we love to see today? 47.9. It's like the only prices on the entire chart. It's like 46.9, 47.9. It's like all that seems to matter right now, and everything seems to be pointing to them, which is rather wild. The 2 days already given us our twist, our change of winds, and it let us know that 60 days in advance, 2 months in advance. So Ichimoku cloud all the way back here. Oh, that's not as good. That's not as good as I thought it would be. All the way back here in August was saying things are changing. Put in 2 higher highs after that. Now we're back to here. Back to here. 47.9. Everything on this freaking chart points to 47.9. It's driving me nuts. Driving me nuts, man. Daily RSI is ugly, man. We're back. We moved under 50. That's not great to see. Thankfully, we are back above it. Nothing going on here. We do see daily support sitting right at our 46,000 level by the TK. I don't think we need Ichi anymore. We're going to get rid of Ichi and take peeks at these moving averages. We have our golden cross was completed. Price still above the 50 and 200. That's excellent. We want to see that continue. And we can see the 200 right at about 64 or 46,000. Everything is right here. This whole chart is right here. The only issue I have at all with this is we're below the 20 again. That's basically at the top of this daily candles open. 47.7. Retaking that is really the liftoff zone to retest those highs and make that move back to 58. This is our local battle here for sure. And luckily this looks better than some of the other time frames. So our 2 days looking decent. It's looking actually, I would say, strong. Our 1 day, I'm not going to make a comment on it yet because I haven't looked at everything, but somewhat agreeing with the 2 day. The 2 day, we saw selling momentum weaken, and we're seeing potentially the market roll over from selling to buying, and we're seeing that on the 1 day as well. That is very positive. The lady's home. Yeah, I could hear the dog barking. I'm going to send her a text. 1 day, mimicking that, mirroring that, as we see waning momentum on the sell side. So here's the real threat, and this is likely, if we're going to follow that negative trajectory to that October open on the 4 day that we saw, this is what we'll likely see. Another very brief single candle, maybe larger than the last one, fake out, and a rollover again for a lower low. I don't think this is probable again, but this is what the chart's telling us. We have a very clear pattern here. Patterns, the wonderful thing about them is they always break. They never stay forever. So let's keep an eye. And what's actually really interesting is this looks like it's going to roll over either like Sunday. That depends how much volatility we get. But it would be very interesting to see positive money flow on Monday morning. That would be a very good sign. That'd be a very confidence building sign. One sec, the lady's messaging me. What? Okay. All right. Let's see. Money flow, and here we go. So the 1 and 2 day looking strong. I can officially say the 1 day looks strong. Beautiful. Higher highs, higher lows, clear sales. Clear sailing there on the 1 day. Strong on the 2 day, and then the 3 day and 4 day. So really what I'm looking for is that 1 and 2 day to translate out, to grow into these longer time frames that aren't looking as good and correct them. Very happy to see that. As long as we're above the 200 daily, it's easy sailing. Clear skies indeed.